Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here to give my 2 cents on minimum wage because from the Prime Minister announced the thousand or more I go on the minimum wage. You have an uproar. Some people are say them grateful for the extra $1,000, and some are say I don't know that. Some are say it could have got 18 or 20, and some are say it could have go even 25. Right? So people look upon this the one way. I say you can't buy nothing. And then you go to 6,200 and people are say you couldn't buy something 9 because things were expensive. Which is, yes, things were expensive, but it's like you people forget about since COVID inflation has risen. Since COVID inflation raised up high, and the inflation caused cost of living so high in Jamaica since COVID. Because I know say before COVID food wasn't this expensive. It wasn't this expensive. And for the people then we are say from 2016 when it raised from 2,600 I think to 9,200 I think. I don't remember which year raised, but in 2016 it was that when time Andrew take government. And una complain say it shouldn't raise more. No for una complain say it shouldn't raise more. So I'm asking a question. So if people then when they get 6,200 10 years ago, you still work minimum wage? So you want to tell me say you never look for upscale yourself, advance yourself from minimum wage. So you want to tell me say you working minimum wage 10 years ago, you're still working minimum wage, no one you can complain? You know, so make you upgrade yourself to get better pay. You're still sitting down working minimum wage and can complain after 10 years? You need to take life more seriously. If after 10 years you're complaining that it is too small based on where it's coming from, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because you cannot be working minimum wage 10 years ago and still be working it now. So you don't decide to move from point A to point B. You decide to stay at point A alone and you can complain. You don't have a qualification, you don't have a skill, you don't have nothing, but you know a degree pay and a qualification. No for uno one degree pay and you don't have a qualification whatsoever. You don't have no skills, you don't have nothing. No for uno know if from bullfoot, but you know a high wage when you don't have a good qualification. Certificate when you don't have. Nothing, no skills, no nothing. Not even a subject no for you no have. But yet still, you don't want $1 million for pay. We don't have no qualification or nothing to no name, but you don't want high pay. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. A lot of companies who hire people in Jamaica do not pay minimum wage. They don't pay it. And we all know that a lot of companies don't pay it because a 40-hour work week you get minimum wage. And if you work more than 40 hours, you're not going to get it. You get more because you work extra hour. Not even supermarket no pay minimum wage. They pay more than that. Wholesale, them pay more than that. Them don't pay it. Because most wholesale do not run for 8 hours for the day, run for more than 8 hours. So you get more. A lot of places do not pay minimum wages. And minimum wage is just a guideline. If you know, say, okay, if you pay below this, if you pay below this, we can report it to the labor board. It's just a guideline, it's a start of it. The people just left school. You know, means you must stay in a minimum wage. Minimum wage is not a career where you say you work minimum wage. And a career that. You have to upskill yourself. You have to upskill yourself to get a better level of education and qualification. You can't sit down all day your life and work minimum wage and complain when you don't decide to uplift yourself from minimum wage. Then you complain government for that. Nobody is supposed to in 40s and 50s and work minimum wage. That's just the truth. I don't care what anybody want to say. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to have a skills. You're supposed to have a skill or you have education or whatever background to get better pay. Because the way someone of view minimum wage, me if you really wonder if you don't really have sense or if you don't really know what to say. Right? Because a small business owner, right? For instance, the minimum wage go to $20,000 or $25,000. It all depends on how much profit the business make, Them can even pay them workers, Right? For example, if a person own a little small phone shop and have 3 workers, what if the person don't make 100,000 a week? What am I going to use to pay the workers them? And most small business pay weekly, they don't pay every 2 weeks, then pay weekly. What am I going to use to pay the workers them if minimum wage should high? I don't know think about so people are unemployed because lot of business not make enough profit to pay certain amount. Right? I don't know look upon them something there. So people are out of job. Because small business, some of them are going to job workers because if you minimum wage too high and they can't even pay, them go job workers. It's just the truth. For example, again, you have teacher who hire babysitter. A lot of them can't pay so much money. You have other people who hire people take care of them parents, them elderly parents and them something there. None of them can't find to pay. And those people already do not pay minimum wage, they pay more. And then they go raise it again if they go pay more. Some of them don't have it for pay. And when they don't have it for pay, sometimes they have more one workers. They go job workers. And when they job one workers now, the work load become too much for one person. So you have got job workers. The Chinese man have got raise him something them to pay workers more. And that's just the truth. Me so work I was say before me left and upscale myself get better wage. Right? And when minimum wage raise, the Chinese man raise him goods to pay the workers. So either the money still long to either I don't know say the money can buy nothing, it's still not gonna buy nothing. If you raise it and the man have to raise him in product to give you that wages where the minimum wage is. So at the end of the day, the people them now go take less profit to pay workers. They're not going to do that. They now cut them profit to pay no workers. So they're going to raise up things. I don't know, look upon them something there. When I go to supermarket, not going to pay extra because the people that raise them things, they pay them workers because minimum wage raise. And remember, it's a free market economic. You can't tell people when to raise them things or to sell them things. So when minimum wage, when the wage raise, the people them are going to raise them stuff to pay the people them more because them now cut them profit to pay people. Them not going to be in the loss to pay people more. So if you take them something into consideration and say, it can't go too high because people go out of a job. People is going to be unemployed. So the minimum wage can't go too high. I remember the government have to check with private sector first before they raise the minimum wage, They have to check with them first. So they can't put it too high because everybody can pay the amount. Because right now, you have no people now pay minimum wage. You must pay less than that. And true, no people want to work, no, go do stick here and go on with it. They're not pay because they can't afford to pay because they're not making enough profit. Worse, a lot of small business, they're not making enough profit because sometimes business slow. And you're not making enough profit to pay your workers. So imagine all if it got 25,000. You know how much people on that job right now? Especially people who own small business. Because they own about 3 workers. That's $75,000 for the week. If you pay the 3 workers. What if a person just make what if a small business owner just make 100,000 for the week? You're not gonna get no profit. So they and them only have probably 1 or 2 workers from that. And people now look upon it them way there. Minimum wage is just a guideline. Minimum wage are just for people just for high school. You go want wholesale work, you take your money, go upscale yourself, get a skill, get a diploma, get an associate degree, get something so you can get a better wage, a livable wage. You can get it. Because if you know sit down and I work minimum wage for here and I complain, you know mean yourself no good. You don't mean yourself no good whatsoever. You don't so sit down and earning minimum wage for too long. Get a skill, do something for yourself. And stop sit down and work minimum wage for all your 11 years complain, but you can't buy nothing, you can't do nothing, you can't do because a couple of years ago. Like when you figure the inflation took over from COVID. Inflation took over a lot from COVID. No, what not say and think properly before you come before you come talk and bash. When I look on things one way, when I look on it say you can't buy nothing. And in the idea, when you raise, me say right now you raise no Chinese man, I go raise them goods. For even for pay them work at the extra thousands. I mean I ask them I go raise them product. Them I go raise it. They pay the extra man it thousand because them not gonna bear no loss. For pay them workers are extra thousand. Them not gonna do that. So I have to take things like those into consideration. As I said before, when we used to wholesale and the wage raise, the man raise up a things then we pay we. So me talk of experience. So still the money still long if buy nothing see you because the product I go raise up and I say why your minimum wage raise and still you can't buy nothing because things raise up too. Things raise as well when minimum wage raise. The people them go raise them things, they pay them workers. You want better pay? Get yourself a skill. Go and get education or something. Upskill yourself. Move from point A to point B. You can't just stuck at point A and complain. It make no sense. It make absolutely no sense when you decide to stuck at point A and don't want to move to point B and make no sense. You can't just sit down and work minimum wage for a day of life and complain or nothing. What you plan to do for yourself? You don't plan to reach further in life. You don't plan to uplift yourself more in life. You don't plan to elevate yourself more in life. You just plan to just sit down and work minimum wage and complain. So you can't buy nothing. And you have to go upskill yourself to get a better wage. And live within the means. You can't expect if you don't have no subject or any qualification and you want 100,000 a week to pay or 100,000 to pay. What go so? Go and get yourself an education or a skill. Art free. Even before art free, it never expensive. Because me used to go art and it ain't expensive before it free completely. It never expensive. So you can go there, get a skill, and you will get more pay. And who can afford to go to college, go there, and you will get more pay. So don't sit down and don't have no qualification and complain about minimum wage. But you go get minimum wage you get if you don't have no qualification. And if go further to get better wage. Minimum wage and something where you live on for the rest of your life. It's just a starter. So if you are work minimum wage 10 years ago and you are working now, yeah, you're gonna be yourself no good. Because you can't tell me say all are 10 years and you don't uplift yourself, you don't move from point A to point B, you just stuck at point A. You don't have to complain or say nothing. Because you are the one that never upskill yourself. You're the one that never do nothing for yourself. You're the one that decide to just stuck right there. You're the one that decide that you don't want to go nowhere in life. but remain at minimum wage and you complain and quarrel. That make no sense. People, no, please think about say minimum wage is not a maximum wage. It is a minimum wage. It's a guideline of what you should get as a starter. And that's something if you still never say life. Gosh, man. You know, I realize enough of uno. Enough of uno feel like say minimum wage job a career. It's not a career. Yes, I said it. Minimum wage job is not a career. Yeah? Yeah. All the job we get minimum wage if you start and a career. So if you work at wholesale, you do 1 year, 2 year. You're supposed to take the money there and upskill yourself. Somebody else come here just advise go to start, come start and move along. I say you move along down job. You can't work a bar and expect say you'll get a lot more money. And a career, darling. If you want to become a bartender for your life, take the money that you work and own a bar. Yeah. And own a bar for yourself. If that you want, because some people just love bar thing. So you just don't remember bartender for the rest of your life and I get minimum wage. Take that money there and own a bar for yourself. So you have one small business. And if you want to employ people, you can employ people. Or you're just working at yourself. So your thing. If that you want. But you can't start working at a supermarket and spend 10 years at that supermarket as if it's a career. It's not a career, you need to move on. Do someone else. Make somebody else come start. And when them come into them move on to someone else. I say you do minimum wage job, not a career if you're still, you know. It's not. You all need to get yourself together and stop treating minimum wage job as if it's a career. It's not a career. It is not. Go and get yourself a skill. Go and get yourself something that you're able to get more than minimum wage. I don't know if you do. And stop complaining about minimum wage because it cannot go too high. Unemployment is going to go up. It's going to go up. And it's just the reality. A lot of small business owners are not going to be able to pay if it is too high. You guys need to face the reality and think. Critical thinking. Think logically. And face the reality of life. You can't stuck one place for too long and complain. You have to evolve. You have to advance. You have to move up. You can't near the bottom of the ladder and complain. You have to make step. If you reach at the top of the ladder, you have to make the first step. You can't just dial ladder tail and say you want to go up there and can't. If you don't make the first step, you have to make the first step. You have to start from somewhere to reach somewhere. So you start at minimum wage, you don't stay there. You move along, make somebody else come start there. And so the cycle continue, you move along. You can't stuck at point A for 10, 20, for 10, 15 years complain saying that make no sense. And you not make no sense, not the minimum wage. You not making no sense. Your life not making no sense. Because you don't decide to make your life make sense. You decide make it make no sense. Because you stuck at one job and complain so you can't make nothing. It don't make no sense. Only if you stop the food and stop complaining, be grateful. Only must have to get done. It makes sense, man. Go to look at plumbing, look at tiling, look at carpentry. Them skill train job there. You understand? I make your life make sense. Do something before something do no. So therefore you don't get minimum wage, so you don't have to complain about it. Anyway guys, remember to like, share, comment and subscribe. I'm out.